I had an experience over the past 7, 8 months. It's 9 months already. I bought a property. Mirz Hashem, later there'll be some news about this, but I bought a house near the Isle in Queens, which I'm going to use, Mirz Hashem, for programs, for classes, for events. It's going to be a very nice thing. So it's not my house where I live, but I have this property. And from the day I bought the house, I noticed there were a couple of stray cats who would like kind of hang out in the driveway. And I got curious about it. And I was like, and they're really stray cats. I mean, they don't have homes. They don't live in any home. They've never lived in a home. They're feral cats. They live in the streets.
They smoke weed.
Yeah, they hang out, in the streets with all types of other stray cats, exactly. So I said, it'll be interesting to see, could I get them comfortable with me? Could I, get them to come close? Could I touch them? Could I, pet the cat? And it just became my little amateur psychological experiment. And I'm so glad that I did it because I learned so much. The cats taught me things that are undeniable about how to not stress out another living being. And here's the beauty. Sometimes we get so enamored with words, our beautiful words, and we say, well, I'm telling you such compelling arguments about why you should do this, why you should listen to reason, why, I mean you no harm. And you try to explain yourself, well, why aren't they listening to me? And you have to realize that when you're dealing with people, especially people who are dysregulated because they've been through trauma, you're dealing with a very, very, very deep level that words do not penetrate. And you start to realize that it's not the words I'm saying, it's little things that I don't really normally pay attention to, like my vocal tone. Am I speaking too harshly? Maybe too loud. My volume's too loud. It's too scary, too intense. Eye contact. My eye contact is too intense. I'm making quick movements, sudden noises, right? And normally we don't think about that, but the cats taught me, because the cats will not tolerate anything that stresses them. The cats make it very, very clear. When they are stressed, when they are uncomfortable, they run and hide. So I learned from the cats how to make another living being feel calm, feel safe, and ultimately, after a long time, feel connected. And this lesson, there's a Gemara that says that Rav said that he spent 18 months as an apprentice to a shepherd so that he could learn what type of mum of an animal is temporary and which type of mum is permanent. Can you imagine Rav, like from Rav and Shmuel, hanging out in a field for 18 months with a shepherd, being like a shepherd's apprentice? But this is how he learned. This is how he learned, on-the-job training. What I learned from these cats was on-the-job training. And I found that when parents are calling me about kids who are emotionally dysregulated, who are living with tension, with fear, with stress, I'm now telling myself, I wish these parents would just go find a stray cat in their neighborhood and see what it takes to win the trust of a scared animal who's living in the streets and doesn't trust human beings. And when you can win the trust of a scared animal living in the streets who doesn't trust human beings, then you can learn how to create a calm environment, lahavdil, for your child. So that's the premise.
The cat method.
The cat method. So I know a lot of times with kips, we buy the kip a pet, right? That helps them with have a little dog, have a little cat. I'm introducing a whole new thing, is the parents should get stray cats. Doesn't count if you go to the pet store and you get one that's already like domesticated, because then it's already broken in. You got to find one that doesn't trust humans and learn how to put it at ease. And you'll learn how to regulate your voice and how to regulate your eye contact. You'll learn things like sometimes they're most comfortable being around you when you turn your back to them, because facing them is too intense. Little things, you almost have to act like you don't care. And you have to feed them. Food is so important. It's basic safety. It's survival. Food. Well, why? Take your kids out to dinner. Buy them their favorite food. Bring home treats. Why? What's with the food? It makes living beings calm. When you have a full belly, you're calm. Then eventually you can work up to other things that are basic physical forms of safety and comfort and pleasure, like affection, physical affection. You can give a little, you can pet the cat. You can reach out and give your child a light hug. You work your way up to it. You create that safety and that comfort level. But what I'm saying is all these words are like useless. Get a stray cat. You can't get them. Again, you can't buy it, so it doesn't belong. Find a stray cat, like the one that's ripping up your garbage bags and like leaving a mess in your driveway, and get that stray cat to eat from your hand, and you will know how to make another living being feel safe. That's the method. Okay, so let's watch. Yeah.
Or instead of getting the cat, you could just pay attention for the next few minutes because you did this already.
Yeah, you could try to learn it from me. Okay,
whatever.
okay. Let's see. Maybe you could learn it from me. Okay, so I made the little video.
You like I made that for you.
I saw that. Yeah, I made the slide, but Avi put the cover on it of the different species of cats. Okay, all right. So let's go to the first slide. There are two neighborhood cats, neighborhood strays. They don't have homes, but they were hanging out in my driveway. So you see there in the picture, you see both of them. There's a black and white one and a brown and white one. They don't have names. These are not pets. These are like raccoons.
How do you know they don't have names?
Because they didn't tell me if they had names. Okay, fine. So those are the two guys. This guy, meaning the black and white one, would watch me from a distance. So there's a few pictures of it, and you see there how he would not get very close, maybe 20 feet away, and he would just sort of, by the way, it might be a her. I don't know, him, her. But this cat, the black and white one, would watch me, but from a distance. Okay. I started putting out a food dish. See, the food was the critical thing. The first point of contact was I became associated with food. I'm supplying food, okay? So that doesn't mean they were coming up and eating from my hand. No. In fact, they wouldn't even eat if I were standing near the food. In fact, I would have to put out the food and then go away. So sometimes you come home, you stock the fridge, and then you go to your room to make it safe for the child to go take whatever food they want from the fridge. And you don't come out like a nudnik and say, see what I bought for you? No, because that's too startling at this stage of the game. You got to play it cool. Okay. So I started putting out food, but they would not get close to it if I was standing close by or even when watching. I couldn't watch. Okay. All right. Once they associated me with food, they started to get more relaxed around me.
They still wouldn't.
But still would not come close. Okay, but you see, and by the way, I learned this. Look at their posture there. They're relaxed. They're hanging out. Oh, wait, is that a video? I think that plays. You see they're more relaxed. So they're just kind of hanging out together. They're chilling.
They see you?
Yeah, they see me. They know that I'm nearby. And they're comfortable, kind of just like, you see, they're like, their bodies are loose. See, I learned that. I never, if you would ask me 9 months ago, tell me the difference between a relaxed cat and a stressed cat. I didn't know the difference. But now I know. I could see their bodies are relaxed. They're hanging out. They're like when they're lying out on the couch. That's what everyone knows. You know the breakthrough, right? When the kid who wouldn't come out of his room is lying on the couch. You know that breakthrough? Okay, so that was like a little bit of what I had over there. All right. I would leave the door open to see if they would come in. They would just sit at the threshold and stare. They wouldn't come in. They didn't know if it's safe or not. Now, I'm the food guy. I never did anything to scare them. I never did anything to threaten them. But That's a big step to come into my house. So, okay, go to the next one. But when it snowed, that worked in my favor. It was cold outside. They finally came inside to warm up and to eat some food. And you see I put that little fuzzy mat on the ground so they could have a warm place. I put the food on the ground. So now they came in just a little bit. And that was like a big breakthrough. I was like, yeah, I got the stray cats to come inside. Okay. They are much more comfortable when they have 2 ways in and out of the house. I opened the back window for them so they can use that if they like. That was a huge thing. Actually, an animal psychologist told me this. He said, do you have an extra egress? I said, are you from the city codes? Why? He says, no. The cats will be much more comfortable if they have another exit. So I kept the front door open.
So they don't feel trapped.
So they don't feel trapped. So the front door is open, but the back window is open. So they have options. It's very important. And I started to realize that, if a person feels that they can't get out of a room easily, or there are limited paths out of a room, or situation. So most of us are very inhibited, and we force ourselves to behave certain ways in public. But the reality is, it is stressful not to have an escape route. So for these cats, it was a huge thing to be able to have an easy out. And what I learned about that is that can mean literally, physically, when somebody feels physically cornered in a room, that I'm going to have to push past the whole crowd of people in order to get out of the door. That's not a comfortable situation. I would not put anyone in a situation like that, let alone a kip who I'm trying to put at ease. But also figuratively, to have an out. So, in other words, if I feel like I'm going to agree to sit at the Shabbos table, but then I'm going to be stuck until benching, no, I can't do that. That's not safe. I have to know I can come for Kiddush, I can pick at the gefilte fish, I can waltz off, and no one's going to say a word. It's fine. Come and go as you please. Very important. Okay.
Or in a conversation that we're getting deeper, we have to be able to say, at any point that you're not comfortable, we can stop. Respecting your boundaries, your domain. But I know that tonight all of them are going to go home and open the back window halfway for their kids.
It'll probably work. Couldn't hide. Okay. The trick, the breakthrough, the trick was to eventually get them to eat from my hand. The black and white one will do so now. This was a very long process, and I don't have pictures showing how gradual it was. Is there sound on this? What? That is a product that I bought on Amazon called Delectables. Delectables are these little pouches of liquid gel cat food. And so I'm holding it. Yeah, it is. It's very similar in consistency. Yeah. So you see, he's eating from, that took months to get him to the point where he would eat from something I'm holding in my hand. Because usually, the way it started, he would only eat food I put out if I would leave, and then he would come over and eat it. So then, you see there, I'm touching him. I'm able to touch him. Okay. Don't give me things to worry about now. Okay, fine. After eating from my hand, the black and white one became extremely comfortable around me. He gets as close as he wants. Wait, go back. Just play this video. You should be able to play it, yeah. This is a stray cat. This is not my cat. This is not anybody's cat. This is just a stray cat that lives in the neighborhood. He's approaching me, or she, I don't know if it's a he or a she, because I feed it. And it took months before it was willing to come near me and be relaxed around me. I used to leave out the food and have to go hide. See, that's a very relaxed posture, by the way.
Let's see.
The fact that he was just hanging out, scratching himself in front of me, that was big. That was big. No, that was like coming out on Shabbos with the smartphone, like you were saying. That shows relaxed. Yeah.
I'm very relaxed right now.
Okay. The black and white one actually likes being touched now. So that was a big thing, because at first he tolerated physical contact, but now he actually experiences it as affection, as comfort. I mean, a living being enjoys physical contact. So he likes being touched.
I want everyone to understand.
Here, well,
This guy.
this is the other one. The orange and white one will usually not come closer than
still
2 to 3 feet
intimidated.
to me.
He won't let me touch him.
Here's the first time the orange and
Stray
white
cat,
one let me
see?
pat his head for just a second.
No, first time I'm touching him.
And
This one is very.
the black and white one jumps away. And by the way, the black and white one was the one who was always comfortable being touched. And then at that moment, the brown and white one let me touch him, and the black and white one jumped away. And you got to accept that fact, that you don't say, well, hold on a second. I thought we were okay with me petting you. No. That was then. This is now. His prerogative. The cats taught me that just because somebody's comfortable with something one day doesn't mean they're going to be comfortable with the next day, and you're not allowed to have any resentments toward them and say, but you already established that I'm allowed to have... No, the cat can change his boundaries, and I have to respect whatever the boundaries are for today. What?
He could have been jealous.
Oh my gosh, that is totally possible that the black and white cat felt slighted. That you were also thinking that? Okay, I didn't even think of that, but yes, that is a possibility. And you see this compassion and the sensitivity that this group is having, even thinking about the psychology of these little beings. Okay. Sometimes the black and white one will come running right up to me when I have food. See, there he comes running right up to me. Okay, but some days he still just wants to chill out under the car and won't come to me even when I have food. And that's totally fine. See, here, I got the food. He's not coming out from under the car. Let's play this whole thing. We'll just... by the way, I don't even see them every day, so I'm not sure what they eat on days when I'm not there. Okay. After 9 months of interacting with these cats, he enjoys getting pets and scratches. Trust me, the moment he doesn't want to be touched, he'll run away.
Cat.
And of course, that's perfectly okay. You see, this was a feral cat that wouldn't let me get within 20 feet. Meow. By the way, they don't meow because they're feral. Kittens meow because they meow to their mothers. Domesticated cats who grow up in homes will continue meowing because humans react to it. But stray cats, they stop meowing because nobody reacts to it. Oh. So I want you to understand I want you to understand the extent. I don't want you to think I went to PetSmart and I got these cats from the pet store. These cats are street cats that don't talk. They don't talk.
Because nobody listens to them.
Because nobody listens. They are not socialized. They don't deal with human beings. They don't have any positive experiences with human beings. So this is a real accomplishment. Okay. He can be very affectionate
cat used to go
at times.
When it saw me, it wouldn't get within 20 feet of me.
Okay. But sometimes he still feels safer hanging out under the car, and that's totally fine. And they signed waivers. So look, he wouldn't come out from under the car, so I went and I brought him food under the car. He's eating out of my hand. And this is very important. You have to accept the fact. Sometimes they want to come out and hang out on the porch in the sun with you. Sometimes they want to sit in the shade under the car, and you don't get to demand the terms. You don't get to say, with the hoodie on, that's right. And they need, for whatever reason, they just need to be a little bit more in their cocoon, a little bit more in their safety. Okay. Now, here's the real proof that I am a good cat parent. I guess they told their friends about me, because sometimes other neighborhood strays will stop by and hang out with me even when my two strays are not there.
A lot of you have that. Your kids' friends, then they come and then they're there even when your kids are not there.
So that guy's a third cat. So the fact that I was so reliable to those two, the regulars.
They heard about you.
They heard about me.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so let's just go through this. All right, what I learned from interacting with stray cats. Okay. Give lots of space. I mean that literally and figuratively. Physical space. Don't get all on top of somebody physically. You got to give them room, okay? Especially in the early stages. And also, I mean emotionally, give space. Don't come on strong. Yeah, I mean, Avi could share it with you. Okay. No sudden movements, no loud noises. This is a mistake that is easy to make. And in fact, sometimes maybe even you think it's positive. You see the cat, oh, it's so nice to see you. Whoa. Whoa. Too intense. But I was saying it's nice to see you. No, you were screaming. I have trauma, and you just gave me a huge adrenaline rush, and now I'm going to have to go into my room for a week. Okay. No intense eye contact. Don't stare them down. On a very primal level, that is a threat. So you don't think that you're saying, let's fight, but when you do, that's let's fight. Okay? You don't do that to someone you're trying to put at ease. Never follow or pursue. Never follow or pursue.
When they say, I don't want to talk about this now.
Has anyone experienced a physical altercation that was precipitated by following an angry kip when they were trying to leave the room, and think to yourself, I could have just let them walk off. Why didn't I let them walk off? Okay? You never follow or pursue. That is escalation. That is asking for confrontation. Or for them to run away and never come back. Always leave a path or two for easy exit/escape. That's with leaving the window open, leaving the front door open.
And emotionally.
You could always be able to check out. They should never have to make up an excuse. I kind of have to go now. No, when they're ready to go, you get up and you leave. No problem. Okay. Make sure to back off before you reach the limit. Okay, so now once we're engaged and we're having a positive interaction, like they're eating from your hand or you're giving them pets, but there's a threshold, and you have to feel when it's enough. We were talking about before about being a giver, being a true giver. So to be a true giver means to stop before it becomes overwhelming for the recipient. Because if you continue giving after the recipient has already crossed his threshold, then you're no longer giving, you're taking. So you got to back off before they hit their limit. And that's what you have enough grace and poise to check out. Sometimes you say, wow, we're on a roll. This is going so well. And let's up the ante, Sometimes you got to have enough class to say, you know what? Better to gracefully, this has been so nice. Let's do this again soon. Don't cross the limit. Okay, even fun things have their limit. All right. Food. Food builds comfort and trust. I cannot overemphasize the importance of food, the effect that it has on an organism, on a living being, just to make it feel at rest. When somebody is eating, they're more calm. Okay? Just food. Build up slowly to affectionate physical contact. That's the real goal. I mean,
sometimes I say if they're not ready to hug, you start with a high five, fist pump. We even do Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, from far away. I used to do that. I used to bench my kids, and the Home Sweet Home guys were there, and I would say, you want a bracha? And they're like, no, whatever.
Too intense,
and
too much.
Table, they weren't interested. And I'd say, okay, let me just you should have a happy week. And they'd go like, amen.
Right.
And eventually, yeah.
Right. So you got to build it up slowly. Obviously, the goal with a child is a parent does need to give a child physical affection. And so the goal should be hugs. But, on the way to hugging could be, just stroke their back, and could just even be
scratching their
whatever. And again, you have to know their threshold, because once it starts to get too much, you got to back off a second before it becomes too much. Okay. What they were in the mood for yesterday may not be what they're comfortable with today. Okay, they don't owe you anything. Don't say, well, hold on a second. Last week I came to Avi and I told the whole group that we had a breakthrough, that my kid lets me hug him now. How can you not let me hug you today?
Or when it was good for you, then you let me. But now that it's whatever, then all of a sudden you're not in the mood.
Right. Oh, yeah. Right. Now you're not in the mood. Right. But the answer is, that's right. They're not in the mood. And a parent is a giver, and a giver does not impose restrictions upon the recipient. Again, when you're trying to get something out of the recipient, you're no longer giving. You're extracting from them in a sneaky, manipulative way. So we give for fun and for free. We give for fun and for free. And that means if they're not in the mood to receive what they to receive today, what they were comfortable receiving yesterday, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Accept setbacks gracefully. Again, like I showed you, that one cat is very comfortable coming up and sitting next to me and getting pets and scratches. But sometimes he's not. He'll stand. By the way, that was the video when he was staying under the car. I don't have video of when they don't show up. Sometimes, I don't have video of this because it's too hard to get video of. I'll see them walking down the block, like 5 houses away, and I know that they saw me, and they're not interested today. And that's fine. That's fine. They don't owe me anything. What? Because I fed them? Now they have to come over and be my playthings? They're living beings. I enjoy whatever I can enjoy. It's all a gift. That's it. They don't owe me anything. So, at any rate, I learned a tremendous amount. So when parents call me and they talk about their kid who's all dysregulated and stressed and acting like, God forbid, lahavdil, a caged animal who's, like jumping and biting and running and hiding and all these things that scared animals do, now I tell these parents, listen, you got to get a stray cat, and the stray cat will force you to learn boundaries. Okay.
Thank you very much for coming, and we're the first people that this.
I made this for this group.
Yeah, the cat method by Rabbi Shais Taub, available in stores near you.
On streets everywhere.
Streets available wherever there's garbage.